Um, so the point here that we are discussing is whether knowledge is essential for love. Well, many times we tend to think that knowledge is only a stepping stone to love, and once you achieve love, knowledge is no longer essential. The example that we give is look at Yashoda Mai. What knowledge about the Supreme Brahman, the Yog Maya, and other things does she have? She has nothing. What about Radharani? What about the gopis? They hardly have any kind of deep jnani knowledge about Krishna's all-pervading aspects, about the Upanishadic understanding of Krishna's various shaktis and stuff like that. So if they don't have this kind of an understanding, so that means that they really knowledge is some kind of a stepping stone. But this is basically not true. The point is that Sat, Chit and Ananda, the Ananda realization is always Sat, Chit, Ananda realization. So you cannot, Sat is the body, the existence of the Lord, Chit is the mind of the Lord, the knowledge potency of Lord Krishna, and Ananda is the emotional potency. Now, the Jnanis have the Sat realization. They only understand the body of the Lord, Brahman, and they don't know anything other than that. And the Chit realization is not Chit, but it's Sat and Chit realization. So Chit includes Sat. So that's understanding the mind of Krishna. So for the mind, if you want to understand the mind of some person, this body has to be there, right? So without the person existing, how can you understand the person, or how can you try to even understand the knowledge? So existence has to be a factor present for knowledge to be there. There has to, for life to be there has to be some existence. Without existence, how can there be life? Only when you have a body and existence, then you can think about having a life. So knowledge or life or a cognizance or knowledge potency and forgetfulness, so for that, existence is essential. So that's why the Paramatma realization is never known as Chit realization. Prabhupada says it's Sat Chit realization. That means when you realize Chit, you also realize Sat. And then he says that the devotee realization is Sat Chit Ananda realization. It's never Ananda realization. It's always Sat Chit and Ananda realization. That means when you understand Radharani, when you go into the emotional understanding, then you have full knowledge of Krishna. If you don't know the person, how can you love him? So to loving Krishna, for understanding emotionally interfacing with Krishna, knowledge is already there with the devotee, and existence is already there. Like he already is aware of Krishna's existence, his body, everything, all the realization of Brahman, and then he has complete understanding of the Chit realization of completely how Yogamaya works and everything, Paramatma realization, and then he can only understand the highest realization, that is the Golok Vrindavan realization. So because it's known as Sat Chit Ananda realization, it's never Ananda, it's Sat Chit Ananda. Because also when it's Yatra Trisargo Amrisha, like when the Ananda is present, then Sat and Chit are fully present. Just like when you have a computer. So first you require a computer. Computer is like the hardware, Sat, and then inside computer is the software or the electricity that runs the computer. The life-giving force for the computer is electricity, and that is Chit. Basically the electricity, the operating system that runs the computer in the background. And then you have the very beautiful movie Krishna, Ramayana and Mahabharata, that is running on the emotions that are exhibited from the computer. So that part is the Ananda. So for the Ananda, if you are seeing Ramayana in the computer, that means electricity has to flow. That means the computer exists. Only then you can enjoy Ramayana or emotions from the computer. So in the same way, when a person has Ananda realization, or when Radharani is present, that means the other two energies are fully manifest. That is the beauty of Radharani. In Golok Vrindavan, there is complete realization, Sat, Chit and Ananda. It's not just Ananda, that would be incomplete. The very fact that when you have Ananda realization, when you have association of Radharani, then Sandhini and Samvit are also present, fully manifest. In Brahman only Sandhini is predominant, whereas in Paramatma realization, Sandhini and Samvit Shaktis are predominant, whereas in Bhagavan realization, Sandhini, Samvit and Ladini, all three are predominant. So if you say that, oh, knowledge is not essential, it's something like, Vidya burns itself. No, that is a material knowledge. We are not talking about material knowledge. Vidya is material knowledge. When Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting on that, Pratiyeta na Pratiyeta Chatmani, that's not about that knowledge. We are talking about Yogamaic knowledge, the beautiful knowledge of spiritual realms. That is not burned. That is completely there. Then the question question might arise, if such kind of a knowledge is existing, then how come Yashoda Maya seems to be, feeling a kind of ignorance, or is she feeling it, or is it that she really doesn't have the knowledge? It seems apparently that these gopis don't have intense and or very deep knowledge about Krishna's various manifestations and Brahmanic knowledge and stuff like that. So as if they have forgotten it. The answer is that in the material world, when we are covered by the avarnatmika shakti of Maya, we forget everything, our relation with Krishna and things like that. But in the spiritual world, there is forgetfulness, but that forgetfulness doesn't cover one. The Yoga Maya doesn't actually make you forget by covering it, or there's no complete loss of memory. What happens is, it's the overwhelming love of Yoga Maya. Like Yoga Maya presents Ladini Shakti through herself, and so the Ladini Shakti of Lord Krishna or Radharani, when she overcomes a person, what happens is that the person has complete knowledge about Krishna. He knows everything, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, everything he knows, but he denies it. So there's a denial stage. So there is a huge difference between ignorance and complete knowledge, but denial. So the denial is what's experienced in the spiritual realm. They have complete knowledge about Krishna, that he's a supreme Brahman, he's everything, but they deny it. They say, oh, I don't agree with that. I know, Krishna, the sages say that Krishna is Supreme Lord, he's the source of all Brahma Jyotis, he's all the incarnations. Oh, but anyways, I don't care about it. So what? What's a big deal? Or I totally outright deny it. Yashoda Maya, in fact, sometimes in some of the Acharyas place, where Radhanath Maharaj also sometimes says that, Yashoda Maya says that, these people say that Krishna is a Supreme Lord, but then, my Krishna, he becomes hungry. That means she already knows. She knows that, all the knowledge that Krishna is who Krishna is. But she says, no, I don't accept it. I deny it. So denial means you have complete knowledge of Krishna's everything, but you deny it. So that's a huge difference between denial and ignorance. So these people are not ignorant about Krishna. Now if you see Radharani in her Mahabhav state, she's like a simple gopi, alright? She's in Yoga Maya. And suddenly she starts speaking, that Krishna in his previous incarnation, he was like, Lord Ram, and he killed Vali from behind, and then as Vamanadev, he actually, condemned Bali Maharaj to go to Patala. So, how does she, they were thinking that Krishna is a covered boy, right? Now, all of a sudden, they are just telling that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's Vishnu, he's Narayan. They know everything. Radharani is talking about him like, in his previous incarnation. She is actually, literally, chastising him, in all his incarnations, in fact. Not only him, like Purnam Purusham. She's chastising everybody. Or like when she gets angry, she chastises the whole Sampradaya, like Krishna, Vishnu, Narayan, everybody. So here we can clearly see that Radharani already knows. Of course, Radharani is Ladini Shakti, she knows everything, but even under Yogamaya trance, like Krishna himself is under Yogamaya, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't know. He can go into that mode where he's like, so what, I'm going to do all these games and I'm going to play this, I'm going to do that and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean he doesn't know that he's the Lord. He's not ignorant like us, We don't know that we are the soul, we are the body. Krishna is not like that. He knows everything, that he's the Supreme Lord. And 1 second he can manifest himself as a Supreme Lord. He can do anything. When he was born, he, told Yogamaya, he commanded Yogamaya, go and do this and do that. So the point is that just like Krishna himself can go under Yogamaya, have forgetfulness, and he can get afraid of Mother Yashoda, he can start running out of fear, and that is real fear. But that is not that he's forgetful. It's overwhelmed with love, that he's like, what if I'm God, but she's going to beat the shit out of me, so I have to run. That's how it is. Like, it's denial. It's like, it's not that, I'm God, so she can't do anything to me. She can do anything to me. Even she's God, she's Mama. She can do anything to me. So it's overwhelming of love that, although he knows everything, yet to enjoy the Vatsalya Bhav, he is, going to the denial mode. So in the same way, Mother Yashoda is also aware of Yogamaya, Mahamaya, the intricacies. The most intricate knowledge about the universe is about Yogamaya, basically. Who is Yogamaya? How shall she function? How does Mahamaya transform into? It's all about her. So and she knows everything about Yogamaya. When she sees Krishna's, the whole universe in Krishna's mouth, she starts speaking all the philosophy. Oh, it's only the Maya of the Lord that I'm like this. I'm thinking, Lord, He is my husband and He's my son, and this and that, and So immediately she knows everything. So that means she is completely aware of everything. But she was like, so what? I don't care. Denial mode. Like Madhu Mangal knows Krishna's Supreme Lord, but I don't think he is whatever he may be the Lord or whatever. I don't care. I don't think he's the Lord. It's something else. he's some demigod or something. I don't care about it. It's not that they know, but they deny it. So what? I don't care. So what? It's something like that. So that's the difference. So because in the Ladini realization, in Ananda realization, Sandini and Samvit has to be there. So knowledge has to be there. That's why Srila Prabhupada says a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, an Uttam Adhikari. That means a Kanishta Adhikari has, his faith is very weak, whereas a Madhyam Adhikari he has some knowledge about the Shastras, but the knowledge is not very strong. His understanding of the Vedas, understanding the Upanishads, understanding the Tattva Jnana is not very strong, and he has strong faith, but he cannot disprove, or he cannot debate, and he cannot defeat people, atheistic people sometimes, and because of his not. But an Uttam Adhikari is by his very definition a person who is completely well versed in all the Vedic knowledge. Basically, the understanding, the tattva, the realizations, he knows everything. That shows very much that an Uttam Adhikari has to have knowledge. All the acharyas, they had so much powerful knowledge. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan, all of them had so many commentaries, and because the very fact that they have that knowledge. So, and when they go into the mode of Leela with Krishna, they just like, oh, okay, now I'm going to beat you. I don't care, you are God, and forget it. You're not even God. I don't care. I deny you are God. I'm going to beat you. Something like that. And then you just go into that mode. But then you know everything about Krishna. You know about Yogamaya. You know everything about everything. So this is my whole small little thoughts on how knowledge is always present in devotion. It's not that knowledge, at some stage, knowledge is irrelevant or redundant. So when you go to a spiritual world, you'll have no knowledge about Krishna, and you'll just you just have emotions. It's not like that. Sandini and Samvit are essential for Ladini. When you see Ladini is there, that means Sandini and Samvit are fully present. That's very important. So that's the glory of Radharani. When Radharani is in the realm of Radharani, all three Shaktis are present, fully manifest. Whereas in Brahmajyoti only one Shakti is present, and whereas in Paramatma realization only two Shaktis are present. But when in the Ananda realization, all three Shaktis are fully present. The knowledge Shakti, the existence Shakti. So if you deny that means you are disregarding Radharani. You're saying that Radharani is just Ananda, and in Ananda realization knowledge may be absent, or it may be covered. So it's not like that. Knowledge is there. So without knowing God, how can you love Him? So first you know the body, then you know the mind, and then you know the emotions of a person. So the body is Sandini. You know the body, that's Brahma Jyoti, Janmadhyasya Yataha. So that's the first step. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, the first step. Let's begin by understanding the body of the Lord, Brahman. And then go and you understand the mind of the Lord. And then you understand the emotions, that is Bhakti. And in Bhakti, all Jnana and Vairagya are already present. It's not that these things are absent in Bhakti. These are already present, but they manifest in different ways. That's all. And so there's a denial of things. So the Krishna's friends will vehemently deny that Krishna is God or something like that, because they know He's God, but they'll deny it because they can't beat Him up, if He's God. So it's a problem. So they just deny it. I don't think you're God. Let's beat Him up. It's like that. So how can they beat Him up if He's God? So that's a problem. So that's how they deny things. They know everything about everything. They know all the Vedas, all the Shastras, all the Upanishads, everything they know. They're completely Sat, Chit and Ananda. They have complete knowledge. They have complete existence, and they have complete bliss. They are complete. In the spiritual world, everybody is complete with all knowledge, with all everything. So it's not that they don't have knowledge, or that knowledge burns itself off. That's wrong. That's not right. So this is my small understanding.